It began with research from the Gulf of Maine. Why was everyone just eating haddock when there were so many delicious and abundant species available right here in the Gulf? From there, local fishermen were brought together with some of the area's most creative and talented chefs to talk about species that were being ignored and ones that could be successfully introduced to the dining public. This conversation between the two legendary sides of the Maine seafood story, the fishermen and the restaurants, is beginning to create new menu items that you might not have tried before. Let's take a look.
You know, Glenn, back in the 70s, we used to regularly get redfish as a fairly inexpensive filleting fish for restaurants and an alternative to haddock and other mild, lean fish species. We haven't seen it for a long time, so it's a treat to get it back in and try it on the menu.
That's been one of the interesting things about our community-supported fisheries program. We've been able to get people to try virtually everything because they don't get to pick what they get, so we try to rotate it around and they get a little taste of everything. And they find that they like this stuff that they never even thought of trying before.
You know, some of them are species that are absolutely delicious. I think of hake and whiting in particular, species that I really love, that are terrific to cook and great to eat, but that have a kind of down market. They don't have a lot of charisma in the marketplace, and yet they're delicious. Same with pollock. So it'll be interesting to see how the public at the event today really takes to those items, and we'll see what they say.
All right, so Rick, tell me a little bit about the northern shrimp.
Well, have you ever worked with it before?
I haven't yet. I'm looking forward to it.
This is your first time?
Yeah, I know shrimp pretty well, so these look really sweet and tender and small. And
well, it's one of my favorite seafoods.
And they're pretty abundant in the Gulf?
Yeah. What we're seeing is they're pretty abundant.
Awesome, well let's cook some up.
Yeah,
All
sure.
Right. We got some black pepper, some chili powder, a little bit of garlic, and some salt. And these are gonna cook so fast, they're gonna be sweet and delicious. Now what this is some shipyard beer, because we're in Maine.
Yeah.
Worcestershire sauce, and some fresh lemon juice. What turns me on about this dish is that it's caught right here in Maine. You know, so if I were a Maine chef, I definitely want to be cooking out of my backyard.
We're working with pollock today, and the reason we use it in fish tacos is I think it holds up a lot better than the other species we've used.
All the pollock on the East Coast is caught fresh and iced and brought in pretty quick to market. It's a really abundant species. You know, it's probably the most dominant fish that I catch throughout the year.
We're going to cook some up here today.
Yeah, sounds great.
See what we can do with it.
Yeah, pollock is a kind of a species of fish that doesn't get, I like to say, doesn't get a lot of respect. I respect it because I make my living catching it, but consumers, you know, locally, there's so much other fish to choose from. You don't want to go to Mexico to get fish when you can catch it, buy it at the local market. It was caught by a local fisherman like myself. It's completely unnecessary when there's, you know, so much abundant seafood protein right out our back door.
And so there you go, something easy you can do at home, and it takes hardly any time at all.
Locally caught, locally prepared.
Locally caught, locally cooked.
Yep, locally caught, locally cooked.
So Mitch, why did you decide you wanted to become involved in the underutilized project with the Gulf of Maine Research Institute?
Well, since the day I moved to Maine, I think the best thing I can do as a chef or as a human being is help and see what else can we do as a chef, develop new recipes, show the product to the people out there in the house. You know, they go to a supermarket and they can buy fish, or they can go to Harbor Fish and buy beautiful species that haven't been developed much. And it's more than salmon and haddock out there.
What are people saying when they come in and they have, you know, some of these species that they've never tried before? They come in and they try whiting or they try redfish. What's the response been from your clients?
The response has been great. The people loved it. Some people are a little skeptical about it, so we have to tell them, like, just try. I mean, I know you might not hear about this redfish or the ocean perch, but we find similarities with like snapper kind of flesh. When we talk about hake, it's like cod. People, oh, I know cod. Well, then you wanna love hake because I think hake is better than cod. Or just like, please try. If you don't like it, I cook it again, or I give you something else.
Today we have farmed cod from Great Bay Aquaculture up in Frenchman's Bay. Right. And those fish were taken out of the cage yesterday and brought down to you yesterday right from the farm.
Right. Okay.
We're interested in what you think about it as a product and what your thoughts are about taking a product from a local farm and serving it in the restaurant here.
Well, yesterday we did get the product and we had a great time. We broke it down. We looked at it. It's got some very interesting qualities.
The fish are fed a prepared feed that's made with fish meal and fish oil and some ground up seaweed that's actually a locally occurring natural seaweed. Part of the reason that we farm cod is because the wild stocks have been pretty badly overfished. And one of the ways to help solve that problem is to take pressure off the wild stocks. And by farming the codfish, we can do that. We can still provide the product to the marketplace, but we're not actually taking those fish out of the wild.
For the health in the Gulf of Maine and the Maine fishing industry, local Maine chefs are adding their creativity to create delicious new items for the Maine dinner menu. Now all you've got to do is place your order. Enjoy the ultimate seafood splash here at Harvest on the Harbor.